Alright, this time we're gonna see if the chat works. Here we go. Alright, let's fucking go, chat. Oh, we're working. Alright, this time. Alright, it's working. Okay, cool. Alright, put this over here. Oh, we're working. Alright. We're gonna watch some content, boys. So let's see what Jay Powell's up to. All right, let's just comment on whatever this bitch has to say. Fuck this guy. Yeah, Roe versus Wade dead. That's GG, guys. That's GG. That's fun.
You money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Kramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Kramer America. I'll be one of my friends. I'm just trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach you. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Kramer. Inflation's got its grip around our neck.
Absolutely, Jim.
And it's not getting any better. That's true even on a good day like this, where the Dow ultimately gained 194 points, the S&P advanced 0.95%, and the Nasdaq jumped 1.62% as the snapback from last week's brutal pummeling continues. I'm always pointing out that the major problems come down to supply chain disruptions, a labor shortage, the war in Ukraine, and the lockdowns in China.
Yep.
But I think the blame for inflation might go further than that. There's another reason we have all these supply shortages. Our government doesn't have a productive relationship with big business. Like it or not, big business has the ability to rein in inflation.
I agree with that.
They don't have any incentive to do so. There's no report, zero, with the White House.
I guess he's specifically talking about the relationship with the oil companies.
Energy.
But
today, important executives from the oil industry met with Energy Secretary Granholm about curbing the high price of gas.
This was probably a clown show.
Right? It was an important meeting because even as President Biden has correctly blamed much of the increase on Vladimir Putin and his war of aggression in Ukraine, he seems to hold genuine scorn for the oil industry. He's been adamant they need to pump more and stop gouging the American people, to the point where he accused ExxonMobil of making more money than God. Putting aside the possibly sacrilegious point of order that maybe
it's
Exxon
pandering,
really
dude.
had
That's
a
the
better year
thing
than
about
God.
the damn.
That one comment,
I mean, this is the one thing.
Any chance
The
that
one
U.S. oil producers would lift a finger to get gas prices under control. It was completely gratuitous. The blowback I have heard from behind the scenes has shocked me. These oil folk actually thought they had a chance to work out a plan with Biden to lower prices. Why is that? Well, first, as David Faber demonstrated with his unbelievably good documentary last night, Exxon at the Crossroads, even this company, long a climate change deniers, working very hard
I used to work for Exxon, bro.
Footprint,
No
yet
shot.
they're not getting any
That's
credit
true.
for it from the White House. While it's a good first step that Granholm sat down with these
They actually did
executives,
a
the truth is
documentary on
President
my old
Biden seems
company.
more
Okay,
comfortable
okay.
negotiating with the oil gangsters who run Saudi Arabia. This is a country he called a pariah state after its crown prince ordered the murder of a journalist who worked for an American news outlet. But Saudi Arabia can't really help here because we don't have a shortage of crude oil. We have a shortage of refining capacity. And without a friendly administration in the White House, the oil industry is very reluctant.
God, we're in such a bad spot, guys. I swear, dude, we're in such a bad spot, motherfucker. God damn, bro.
To spend fortunes building new refineries, which are very expensive, take forever to complete. Why take the risk when they're already printing money and this present quarter, maybe down the road, a refinery shut down just purely on environmental grounds? Hey, they did it to almost completed pipelines. Right now, we desperately need more refining capacity to bring gasoline prices down. Yeah, at the same time, you probably don't know this, but the giant chemical company LyondellBasell has a colossal Houston refining
LyondellBasell, bro.
that
What is
can refine
LyondellBasell?
268,000
What is
barrels
that
per
garbage,
day.
dude?
And do you know the firm's planning to close it by the end of next year? Why? It can't find a buyer. Well, that's because
what is it? What
needs
is
to
it?
put in
What?
do you know the firm's giant chemical company, LyondellBasell, has a colossal Houston refining facility that can refine 268,000 barrels per day. And do you know the firm's planning to close it by the end of next year? Why? It can't find a buyer. Well, that's because it needs to put in, any buyer needs to put in at least $1 billion plus in capital expenditures to have it maintained. Also, this plant requires heavy crude to run. They used to get it from Venezuela. They were planning to pipe it down from Canada via the now canceled Keystone Pipeline. Without that heavy oil from Canada, there's just not much reason to keep this refinery open.
It's
you need
so
government intervention to
interesting
make it
how
run. I doubt Biden will allow a pipeline with Canada.
How like
but
all
maybe
the
he's
mainstream
willing to
media
get
now
friendly
is
with the
just, like,
communist regime in
talking about
Venezuela.
oil refining and oil margins, and now that they understand
Similarly, the
all
president
this,
said he wants the oil companies
I've
to
been
do
saying
more
this for
drilling on
years,
federal leases. But they're not
historic
inclined to do so without more
underinvestment in the oil and
pipeline
gas
capacity to bring that
industry
oil
is
to
going to
market.
lead to
Biden's made it extremely difficult, more than
prolonged
any
high
president, maybe in
prices.
history, to cite these pipes. I speak to many of the people in this industry, and I can tell you that they've never felt like they've never been treated this badly with this level of contempt. Executives don't like investing in big projects when they feel like the government's out to get them. But we need a ton of infrastructure investment to bring down the price at the pump. The oil industry is not going to lower gas prices out of the goodness of their hearts. They have a fiduciary duty to make money for the shareholders, not to bail out the American consumer.
Dude,
I get why Biden doesn't want to buddy up to the oil industry, as fossil fuels are very unpopular in the Democratic Party, and for good reason. Good historical reason. But if he wants to get reelected, he's going to have to suck it up. You can't speed from fossil to green. Look what happened to Germany when they tried it. They got hooked to Russian energy, and that is the reason why this war is occurring so easily. The Russians could win. Now, I don't think they will. I think there'll be a truce. But you know it's because the Germans are not helping the situation. Second example, we desperately need more semiconductors in this country. And to do that, we need to manufacture them here.
It's surprisingly
Most of the
insightful.
world's semiconductor foundries are located in Taiwan or South Korea. A missile's throw away from China, I might add. If we could build more chips ourselves, we could have lower prices and our tech would be more secure. That's why I was so excited about the CHIPS Act, which can put more than $50 billion towards new foundries in this country. Pat Gelsinger, the CEO of Intel, is willing to kickstart the process with a $20 billion investment in Ohio.
Yo, let's go.
Now, though,
Let's
looks
bring
like
it back.
congressional
Let's
intransigence
fucking
could
bring
do
it
this
back, bro.
legislation. Oh, this would be a
Let's fucking
disaster
bring
for
it back.
national
The chip
defense, for
industry,
American
dude.
manufacturing. For all the people who've been employed by these foundries, could be, and certainly for the consumers. Yet it looks like it could die on the vine. If the administration really cared about these issues and Congress could work with them, then we might have a longer-term plan to hold down costs of everything, because everything needs semis. But we'd rather build bridges to nowhere because Washington...
You know, something that's quite interesting right now is that, you know, this mantra of supply side economics, it's starting to become a lot more popular now, because if you really think about what all these guys are saying, invest in refining, invest in plants, invest in business. I mean, it's all about increasing the supply. Now may actually be the correct time to initiate supply side economics, because that's actually what's causing inflation. So the Republicans, man, they're in a really, really good spot economically. I mean, they have the Democrats by the balls. I mean, they've completely they absolutely have the upper hand. They've successfully blamed the Democrats for the economic situation that we're in, and I mean, even I, it's just hard. It's hard right now to side economically with the Democrats right now. It's really hard, but in the end, you know, they just need to come out and say that, look, we're going to be the generation that is going to suffer or like be uncomfortable while we're transitioning over to green energy. And the Democrats, I mean, they kind of, to be honest, a lot of them probably want high gas prices because it disincentivizes gasoline consumption. So it actually, in the long run, it probably helps their goals. So it's a tough spot to be in, guys. I don't know what you do if you're a Democrat right now, like, at least economically. It's hard to defend any of their policies. It's hard to, like, the core of like, you know, Democratic policy, you know, is large government spending projects, fiscal policy. There's zero support for any kind of fiscal stimulus right now because, you know, to be honest, any person will simply come up and be like, any fiscal stimulus is going to cause inflation. So you're in a bad spot, Democrats, and I don't know. You might have to embrace some supply side economics just to see.
Is allergic to industrial
Anyways,
policy.
we'll see how this plays out.
It's not just the lack of government cooperation with business, which I reiterate is the worst I've seen in my lifetime. I believe technology firms and their clients may be failing us too. We have many businesses that are really good at firing people to make their quarters, but how about harnessing technology to keep inflation down when people can't be found to work, as is the case in this country right now? I don't want to blame the tech companies per se. For instance, we spent a lot of time with Jensen Huang. He's the brilliant CEO of NVIDIA, and he's developed technology that can take orders better than any human in 27 languages. It could be a savior of the restaurant industry, which is now desperately understaffed. How can these chains not be calling NVIDIA to figure out how to integrate this amazing technology? I give credit to ServiceNow and Salesforce.com, who, by the way, we have the latter on tonight, for what they've done to help companies deal with a lack of salespeople and data analysts. But I don't see many tech firms trumpeting software that can lend a hand here. I know that GM's Cruise division, Alphabet's Waymo, and Tesla are pushing ahead with self-driving cars, which would theoretically help the labor shortage if they can ever make it happen. But state and local governments are fearful of self-driving accidents, even as we know empirically that there are way more accidents per mile by human drivers than there are by self-driving cars. GM just started a self-driving program in San Francisco. I salute Mary Barr for that. If the data is as good as I've seen, government should be working to both support the safer machines and help subsidize even long-haul self-driving trucks, a major source of higher cost of the system. Look, maybe it's as simple as business connecting with tech. McDonald's calling NVIDIA. Biden saying, okay, I'll sit down with the oil guys. I guess I have to. Someone in Congress who's powerful saying we just can't lose on this chipset. But at the bottom line here right now, at this point, I'd be more willing to bet on the odds of a truce in Ukraine after Russia gets the Donbass than CEOs breaking bread with Biden administration on just about anything. Spencer in California. Spencer.
Okay, one of these clowns gonna
Booyah, Spencer, what's happening?
I don't want to hear this.
I'm doing real well. So I'm wondering, with X-Share back and the summer vacation in full swing, do you see any summer loving for Uber?
Down here, I'm not going to go against Uber. I mean, look, this is a really well-run company.
Spencer.
And they just have driver shortages, but they're going to deal with that. Look, I think this stock is 5 points down, 15 points up. That's the way I look at it. I just can't see it going down more than 5. It could, but I just don't see that. Let's go to Alan in California. Alan.
Hi, Jim. Alan from California, formerly from Cheltenham.
Get out. We always crush Cheltenham and everything. In everything. I personally beat them in everything. What's up?
So my question is, since J.P. Morgan Chase has established itself, in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, do you think that Chase is going to be interested in the middle of the state, in particular Harrisburg?
Too small. J.P. Morgan likes the big markets. Now, I've got to tell you, there is a pecking order. My favorite is Wells Fargo. We just got
J.P. Morgan's going to go fucking Harrisburg,
I like Bank of America, too.
Bro. Okay.
J.P. Morgan's third. Jamie Dimon can always come on and tell me why that is the wrong pecking order. Let's go to Nass in Florida. Nass.
Down 20%. Fucking banks, bro.
Go ahead, Nass. You're up. It's Jim. Nas. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Sna?
Nah?
Nas?
Nah?
This is my fault. I'm probably mispronouncing Nas's name, and I apologize. We're not getting. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So anyway, we're going to wrap here.
Mispronounced the name.
We'll get you back on
Mr.
sometime
2
soon.
seconds of fame,
Government cooperation with business is the worst I've seen in my entire lifetime. And I'm talking about like Nixon, Eisenhower's pretty good. Carter. It's worse than Carter, for heaven's sake. Certainly worse than Obama. I'm not holding my breath that this will get better anytime soon. But it should. Oh, man, buddy, tonight we're about to enter earnings season. The estimates for this quarter and the rest of the year haven't come down enough yet before we get a bottom. That has to happen. I'm breaking down earnings estimates picture ahead of what could be a tough quarter. Then, earlier today, I had a chance to check out Mini Dreamforce at the Javits Center in New York City. I'm sharing my exclusive 2-part interview with the co-CEOs of Salesforce from the big event. Charitable Trust owns it. I think that's bottom. And the Fed has set its sights on housing inflation. I'm breaking down what needs to happen to help bring it down. So stay.
Yeah, bring it down. All right. So Kramer, he's doing that shit. Let's fucking.
We are going to begin this morning with those markets.
What's going on? All right.
Just got a call.
All right.
The Supreme Court's landmark.
Okay, honestly, that's another stream right there, boys and girls. This whole Roe v. Wade thing, we're not gonna get on that right now. That's another fucking stream. All right, what the fuck? Hackers steal 100 mil. Oh my god. Okay, let's watch some crypto shit, boys. What's going on with crypto? Yo, my boy George, Cryptos Are Us, right here. The permabull right here. George, yo, let's fucking go.
Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. I didn't miss market opens. The market open bell, of course. 8:30, and welcome to this morning's market open stream. So, a lot to talk about today. I want to focus a little bit more, just a little bit more on some of the Bitcoin related stocks, because I do want to show you guys something that's very, very interesting. But of course, also talk about Bitcoin and why some big players think the worst may be already over.
The worst may be over.
And some other crypto news. So, welcome. There we go. All right. So, right now, let's see if it refreshed yet.
Fucking market popping off
282,
today.
NASDAQ plus 111. So, it looks like it could be a pretty green day. So, that's pretty good. Bitcoin also doing pretty good.
Bitcoin?
Above 21,000 once again. 21,200, slightly higher than last night. And of course, slightly higher than the day before, and slightly higher. And we are on that slow trajectory up, slow recovery at this point, which is really good, because right now everyone is starting to get a little bit more comfortable
Darren Woods
with what's going on
carbon, by the way.
in the U.S., what's going on with the economy and Fed rate hikes and all
not
that,
the most
right? So people are starting to get a bit
policy
more
decision
comfortable,
right now, but
put a
anyways,
little
let's
bit more
talk about
money,
crypto.
and of course the long-term investors and holders are still DCAing, so that's what we're seeing right now. But you know, besides Fed Chair Powell, you have the St. Louis Fed President James Bullard, who keeps, I don't know I don't know if he wants Powell's job, because he keeps talking about, you know, being more aggressive with rate hikes. We got to front load the rate hikes first, right? We got to get the Fed rate up to 3.5% by year end.
Let's go.
You know, he's just like being super hawkish.
We got to see George.
And Bullard is one of the 12. He commands one of the 12 regional banks out there, and one of the FOMC members. So he definitely does have an input into the rate hike decisions. But it seems like he wants Powell's job. He wants it badly. And
he does.
He keeps saying that you know, Powell needs to be more aggressive. You know, way more aggressive. Maybe he's right, but he just seems like he's very hawkish. Very hawkish indeed.
I mean, they're all going to be hawkish.
But the
right
problem
now,
is when you go too hawkish and you raise rates up so much,
because like it's just
there are
like
consequences.
it's like
for example,
it's like fear.
A lot of
like
the companies,
the Fed chairs are going to
the
be
high-flying
hawkish
companies,
when,
are.
The Fed chairs are going to be hawkish when inflation's high. Just like how the market is fearful when the market is going down. They're all going to be hawkish right now because they're like, fuck, we gotta solve the inflation. So
are now starting to struggle. I saw this headline this morning. Netflix lays off another 300 employees. This is on top of the 100 that they laid off earlier, maybe like a month ago. Okay, so definitely Netflix.
Netflix is kind of cooked, to be honest, boys. Netflix is fucking cooked. Let's watch some real shit. Let's watch some Jay Powell Congress live. Some fucking real shit, boys.
single-family homes rather than downtown, and so prices went up all over the country at very, very high levels. Now you see the housing market slowing down because you see higher rates are having an effect. That should have an effect on housing prices, perhaps even fairly quickly, so that prices won't necessarily come down, but price increases will flatten out. We're seeing lower home sales, we're seeing lower starts, so we're seeing a slowing in housing. And, ideally we would, the very low settings of rates during the pandemic were appropriate, but part of what that did was it supported a lot of demand for housing. Maybe we're going to get back to a place where supply and demand are closer. I will say, I agree with you on the labor shortage issue, which is a longer term issue that we have, but also with housing, there are constraints on housing construction, so that it's very possible that we'll be in a position where there isn't enough appropriate housing at the right price, and that's a longer run issue. Again, not so much for us as for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Senator Lummis of Wyoming is recognized.
Who the fuck is that guy? Dude?
Thank you, Mr.
Oh my
Chairman,
God.
and thank you,
These
Chairman
guys are
Powell,
some
for
fucking
being with us
comic
today.
book villains,
It'll
dude.
come as no surprise to you that I want to focus on digital assets and Fed master accounts.
Dude,
So
everybody
my
has, like,
first
a hard
question
on for
is
crypto
about the
here, dude.
accounting
Like, what is going
treatment
on?
of digital assets.
Like, just stop,
Specifically,
dude.
SEC Staff
Just stop.
Accounting Bulletin 121. So this bulletin requires publicly traded companies, including banks, to hold digital assets in custody as an on-balance sheet liability.
Okay, never
So
mind.
will the
She's fucking
accounting
smart.
standards contained in this bulletin that requires it to be on balance sheet be applied by the Federal Reserve to banks and bank holding companies?
That's something we too saw that and understood the implications, and I think that's something we're working on with our fellow bank regulators. And I don't have an answer for you though, but that's certainly something we're focusing on very closely right now.
And I would note that the Basel Committee on Bank Supervision
The Basel
has
Committee?
declined to establish a capital charge for custody digital assets because they're always off balance sheet. They've created a framework called the Prudential Treatment of Crypto Assets that continues to acknowledge that they're off balance sheet. So if the standards
guys, this shit is
of
boring
the
as fuck.
SEC's
I'm
staff
sorry.
To consider those. The current proposal we have, and are considering comments on that right now, as I'm sure you know very well.
Yeah, and as you also know that
Let me put this on to
applicants for master accounts are getting whipsawed
put
between the
something on.
Federal Reserve Board of Governors and the banks. That one says that the Federal Reserve says that the bank nowhere
Fuck off.
no
Client who spent a lot of time.
I don't give
saw
a shit. I don't give a
no
shit about this.
responsiveness. It's a
I don't
black
give a fuck
hole.
about this.
It is.
Senator Van Hollen of Maryland is recognized.
All right, let's
Thank you,
go.
Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Chairman Powell. I can't let an opportunity go by without raising the issue of the FedNow real-time payments system implementation. You would agree that if we can get the system into place, it will save millions of Americans billions of dollars, would you not?
Yes, I would.
And so that's why I just want to encourage you to move very quickly. As you know, the system is scheduled to
this?
go up next year.
What is
We
this?
had an earlier hearing in May in this committee, and Brookings Senior Fellow Aaron Klein, who spent a lot of time monitoring this system, shared his concern that we weren't moving fast enough to hit that date and fully implement it. So I just want your commitment, Mr. Chairman, that you are focused on this and that it is a priority.
Very much so. We're very focused on doing it right and also on time. And
Hell
that's
yeah.
next year.
I like this
Because it
guy. I
especially
like it.
impacts, of course, people living paycheck to paycheck, right, who make a deposit in the bank, but it doesn't clear. And then they get tagged with all sorts of
what the
overcharge
fuck?
fees and things like that.
Oh,
So
shit,
I
is
just,
are they
you know,
making it
other
quicker?
countries that are a lot less advanced in terms of technology, the United States have figured this out, and we should be there now. I just want to
Guys,
turn
wait
to
a second.
really.
Guys, did he just describe a system where your fucking checks get cleared faster? I mean, that's one of the main fucking advantages of crypto. So if they're doing it without crypto, I mean, that's a GG for crypto.
The
now.
issue of the day, which is this challenge in navigating between keeping a strong economy moving and low unemployment and dealing with price stability. On the good news front, and I think you've testified to this earlier, the United States is doing a lot better than our sort of near peer economies when it comes to economic growth and quickly reducing our unemployment rate. Isn't that the case?
Yes, generally we're further advanced in our recovery, I would say.
Yeah. So that's good news, and we want to keep that going. We also obviously want to deal with the price increases, and the concern which has been shared by others this morning
guy looks like
is that many of the causes of those price increases
fucking,
are beyond the control of
man, and he just walked out.
And I call them the 3 Ps: Putin's war, pandemic supply chain disruptions, price gouging. Senator Cortez Masto raised that. And so I think the challenge is how do you navigate increases in interest rates when a lot of the drivers of price increases are beyond your control. And I want to raise a specific kind of case study here, which is in the housing market.
Okay.
Because you would agree, would you not, that increasing the supply of housing can help reduce housing prices, right?
Sure.
But what we're seeing now is that with rising interest rates, obviously new investments are more expensive. We've seen housing starts fall by 14% in May. So that means fewer housing opportunities, less supply, fewer workers engaged in building new homes. So if you could just use that as a sort of case study of how you're going to navigate these cross currents.
So interest-sensitive spending is a very important aspect of how our tools work. And in the case of the housing market, what you're seeing is higher mortgage rates. So you're actually seeing demand move down quite significantly.
You see that? There's people walking behind them.
Many indicators suggest that fewer people are visiting homes. The wait time for selling a home is increasing. Housing sales are moving down. Housing starts are moving down. And overall, it's a slowing in the housing market, and I think what you will see, or many forecasts call for the increase in housing prices to slow pretty significantly now. You've seen very, very large, as you know, increases in housing prices over really since the beginning of the pandemic, and to the point where all over the country you have housing, people, 5 bids above the ask. The second the house comes on the market. Well, that's cooling off now to a more sustainable pace. So what we hope is we can get demand, that part of the economy, to slow to a more sustainable pace, and get the housing market back on a more sustainable path where there's a better balance between supply and demand.
This is what he needs to say, man.
I appreciate that. I'm just going to use my remaining time to sort of push you a little further on this issue, not specifically with housing, but given the fact that so many of the factors that are driving price increases are beyond our control, and you talked about core inflation, what is your confidence level that we will have what is generally referred to as a soft landing, where we won't overcorrect in raising our interest rates to the point that it begins to really hurt our economy, workers, and wages?
He is the Federal Reserve.
What is your level of confidence that you can navigate a soft landing for the economy?
He can only say one thing, which is like...
It is our goal.
We can do it.
It is going to be very challenging.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Fair enough.
Significantly more challenging by the events of the last few months, thinking there of the war and commodities prices and further problems with supply chains. And the question of whether we're able to accomplish that is going to depend to some extent on factors that we don't control.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if I could, but this is the point I think many of us are making. The factors that are out of your control are not going to be susceptible to those costs being brought down: oil, gas, I heard you earlier, food, by the measures you're taking. And the risk is that the measures you're taking will slow down other parts of the economy without getting us the benefit of lower prices. So I think that is a big theme today, and I just look
I think it's a
forward to
valid
continuing
concern.
our
I think it's
conversation
a
about
valid
how you're
concern,
going to
but
thread
I would
that
argue
needle.
that
Can I
it's
say
very
that
unlikely that it
the
will
other
happen.
risk, though, is that we would not manage to restore price stability and that we would allow this high inflation to get entrenched in our economy. And we know from history that will hurt the people we'd like to help, the people in the lower income spectrum, who suffer now from high inflation. That will hurt them more than anyone. So we can't fail on that task. We have to
it's
get
their
back to 2%
mandate, bro. It's their
inflation
mandate.
so that we can
it's
have
more
the kind
important.
of labor
Technically, it's
market
more
that we
important
really
than
want.
unemployment, dude.
I appreciate that,
it's in
Mr.
their
Chairman,
charter.
but as you know, the prices that people are
in their charter.
experiencing most vividly day to day is the price of gas at the pump and the price at food at the grocery store, both of which are things that you've said are beyond your control. So thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Chairman.
Now, Senator Daines from Montana is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Dem alert. Dem alert.
Powell, good to see you that's here today. Like my colleagues, I continue to be deeply concerned with the inflation we're seeing in the economy and its real life impact on Montana families. When I go back home, I hear the top three concerns from Montanans. It's inflation, it's inflation, it's inflation. It's the price of gas, it's the price of groceries. CPI inflation grew 8.6% year over year in May, the highest increase since December of 1981. In Montana and other mountain states, as you're aware, inflation grew by 9.4% versus a year earlier. This rate of inflation is unsustainable for Montanans and Americans alike. For months, Republicans in Congress and even some Democrats, like former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, warned of the massive inflationary risk of the $2 trillion March of 2021 stimulus package with that post.
The jury
economy.
is
In
still
fact,
out on this one. Okay,
just pulled up the
everybody is
Washington
like, okay,
Post
for
article
sure, we printed
from
2
March
trill.
29th.
We printed 2 trill, right? I mean, we need to look this bullshit up. I'm sorry. We need to fucking look this bullshit up because impact of COVID stimulus on fucking inflation. Because we need to look this. What this? Oh, they're saying it's not to blame. Look, check this out. Andrew Yang. Okay. They disagree with stimulus checks. True. That U.S. inflation levels generous. That no other country sent out checks as much as we did. Okay. Direct payments reduce poverty, bro. It's good. It's good. Fuck, I just probably got it scammed by doing that. Alright, let's see what this says. Macro view. A majority of economists with stimulus just spurred consumer spending. Stimulus fucking... Okay, majority. Alright, whatever. Okay. I've been constantly blaming... I don't know. It's I don't know. Like, who's saying that it's not though? Who's saying it's not? Is it the White House only? Is everybody else basically saying it is? Because then it's probably fucking. What the fuck is this garbage, dude? Why is this not going back? What the fuck? Causes of inflation. Come on, we need to know this. We need to figure this out. Causes of inflation. 2021. We forum. All right, let's see what Wikipedia is fucking saying. Supply short caused by the COVID, but yeah, okay. I know it's kind of interesting because it seems like this is like a good thing, but like obviously. Like driven by historically robust job growth and wage growth, but like, I mean, that's a fucking good thing. But of course, this fucking economy, dude, you can't be too fucking robust. Can't be too robust, otherwise it fucking destroys the economy. Apparently, like, what is this garbage? Like, what the fuck is this garbage, dude? Alright, let's go on. Background causes. Yeah. I'm sure the fucking shortages. Do I have any fucking numbers? Depressed. Fucking. Okay, fine, whatever. Alright, so this guy says that the invasion of Europe is the principal cause of high inflation. Confusing. 3.5 of the 8.6. He said jumped. Resulting diesel prices. Huh. Oh, wow. This guy's only saying that Zandy cited the pandemic and housing shortage is the next largest at 1.1. Inflation for durable goods was 14.9%. Jesus. Alright, so check this out. Check this out right now. While most countries saw a rise in their annual inflation rate during 2020 and 2022, some of the highest rates of increase have been in Europe, Brazil, Turkey, US, and New Zealand. So, one thing you may notice that we're okay. What the fuck? Europe is a big country, but one thing I'd like to point out is that the UK inflation rate. Wait, 9.1? Dude. Oh, wow, okay. That's not good for them. Okay, 9.1. What the fuck? That's pretty trash. How do they measure it? Fucking, I wonder if they measure it in a similar way. Sterling, one of the weakest currencies against the US dollar, fell $1. Okay, whatever. Fucking, I don't give a shit. Average pay. I mean, in the whole. Tell me, it's the same story around the world, guys. Fucking everything's fucked up. All right, but the thing I wanted to prove is that UK COVID stimulus. All right, so let's see what they did. Because what do I want to prove? Is that my understanding is that the United Kingdom did not have that much stimulus compared to the US. Employment-related job scarcity. Fuck. Oh wait, what the fuck? They actually gave. Oh no, this is only apprentice, right? Economic. Here we go. COVID business. So they gave these. All right, so they gave these coronavirus business interruption loan schemes for smaller businesses. Fucking coronavirus large. Okay, whatever. Okay, 750 million. Okay, that's not that much. Future for high growth companies, 500 million pay as you grow startups. Winter economic plan. All right. I don't know how. All right, so they did some shit, but I don't see any. From what I understand, there was no direct payments in the UK. UK stimulus package amount. All right, let's read this. Hold on one second. UK. All right, here we go. You're not unlike the EU or whatever. Yeah, we know that. It also had a Brexit. Okay. A massive. All this to the having close it. Wait, what? Oh wait, no, that's because of COVID, right? Okay, yeah, that's because of COVID. I thought that was because of Brexit. I was like, what the fuck? The largest decline in over 3 centuries, dude. The fuck is that garbage, dude? That sucks. The Bank of England is taking over to mitigate the. Oh, fuck. What? On March 19, 20, Bank of England would restart QE? 645 bill? Okay, so they also basically just fucking, they just flooded their economy with fucking liquidity. I mean, they all did the same thing. Bank of England. Alright, they launched this fucking corporate fucking, that's basically your fucking bonds or whatever. This is your small business loan bullshit okay, no, it's not. Never mind. As for regular changes. Oh, they did a stress test? They did a stress test? We did one recently as well. Okay, fuck. Their monetary policy, alright, so yeah, so they basically just kept it. They just kept it low. They just kept their monetary policy low. I mean, we all did that. Okay, fine. UK fiscal policy, 30 billion. All right, here we go. 400 billion. Okay, so 400. This is what I wanted to fucking copy because. All right, so they fucking did 407 billion, right? And all right, let's do a fraction. So UK GDP. 2 point fucking. Oh god damn it, dude. When was this? Let's just fucking pre-pandemic because I don't know what the fuck happened. UK GDP 2019. All right, 2.8. All right. So. All right, watch this. Where the fuck's my calculator, boys? All right, so. All right, so basically, we did 0.4 trillion, right? 0.407 trillion divided by 2.831. So their fucking thing was 14.3% of their GDP. So they spent 400 billion, 0.4 trillion, 2.81 trillion in 2019. What is this garbage? Fucking notes. Come on, dude. Come on, load, bro. Alright, whatever, bro. Whatever. This is garbage. Fucking Mac, bro. I swear. It's trash. Yo, look at this. Mach 10, 7,000 miles per hour, bro. Alright, fucking, random bullshit. Alright, fuck, this took way too long. Holy shit. 0.143 UK percentage COVID fiscal policy of GDP, 14.3%. 407 billion. Oh wait, those are pounds or was that fuck? Because it probably makes a difference. Did I spend stimulus? And then the US, boys, the US went fucking in. I know it did. US COVID stimulus total fucking total. Yeah, total. Whoa! Okay, I don't know. I don't know. This was a mistake. I don't understand. We spent 4 trillion in total. What? But does this include like the like fucking the monetary policy or whatever? Like what? What? Alright, I went on a rabbit hole for this, but basically, fuck it, bro. I was just trying to say that. Oh fuck, I don't even know what I was trying to say, but that's pretty retarded. Alright, we're done. We're done for today.